Hello, welcome to Nativity in White, episode 1. My name is Christian, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Black Sabbath's first album, Black Sabbath. Now, I chose this album because it's one of my favorite albums, and I really wanted it to be the first album I talked about. Obviously, the name of the project is based on one of their songs, NIB, which a lot of people commonly think it means Nativity in Black. Now, I thought about that and I decided to use that as a starting point and came up with Nativity in White. I know, right? But I liked it. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's pretty cool. Now, what should we know about this album? I don't want to tell you about the things that I don't want to tell you like basic stuff or stuff that I knew about. I want to tell you about stuff that I didn't really know. So I'm going to be basing my 5 minutes talking about it on it. Maybe a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but I'll try to keep it within that line. This record was released on February the 13th, 1970. So that's one day before Valentine's Day, 1970. I never realized that. If you think about it, Nativity in Black or NAB, it's a song about the devil falling in love with a human girl. So I don't know. I always I immediately related those two things. It was recorded in 1979 at the Regent Sound Studios in London, England. The length of the record is 38 minutes with 12 seconds, and the producer is Roger Bain. It's very funny how in this album, if you own one of the if you own a reissue, the name Aussie will be spelled right. But if it's one of the if it's a first edition or a vintage edition, you will have here in the credits Ozzy Osbourne spelled O-S-S-I-E. Can you see that? And he's credited for vocals and harmonica, which he's tremendous. If you think about it, if you think that Ozzy actually played harmonica on The Wizard, oh my God, he really had some lungs. He's going to be playing for the last time in Mexico City next November, 2016. And I really hope to God or the devil or whatever that I can make it to the concert because, it's the last time. I saw them for their tour 13th, but, well, that's another story. This album was recorded in only 12 hours, and Iommi used a white Fender Stratocaster and a Gibson SG. Talking about the lyrics, most of the lyrics were written by Geezer Butler, and he's the bass player, and he had a very, very crazy experience with the occult. He painted all of his walls black and had like inverted crucifixes and stuff. And Ozzy gave him a book, and one day the book was lost, and he had a nightmare. He woke up, there was a black shape at the edge of the bed, and it was kind of like the devil or something, and he just stopped fucking with it, but he had enough of an experience, along with reading books by Dennis Whitley and Tolkien and H.P. Lovecraft, and basically he was very attracted to that kind of thing, but he stopped dabbling with the occult after that experience. However, most of his experiences with that are based, the lyrics are based on those experiences, right? So it made for a very creepy record, and the band thought, well, the logic is that, like, there's this Mario Bava guy, and he has a movie called Black Sabbath, and people are paying to see it, and isn't it strange that people pay to get scared? And why shouldn't we make music to scare people, and nobody else is doing that? So they decided to call the band Black Sabbath, and the name was not taken at the time. They took it for the band, and the rest is history. The artwork is legendary. We see these like very what do you call it, psychedelic filters on the cover, like pinks, and we see a woman there. I think it's a fucking witch. Look at her. Just fucking look at her. It's all yellow. Nobody really knows anything about the woman, but that she was a model actress hired for the day, and that her name was Louise. Apparently, well, that's what they say. The original cover was a gatefold sleeve with the original with with an inverted cross inside of it and a poem that talked a little about the woman on the cover. It's very cool. I may recite the poem maybe later. It's interesting, but I will do it separately. All right. So basically, the cover and this thing, the design and the gatefold and the inside and everything was made by this guy called Keith Macmillan, credited as Marcus Keith. He was really cool, and well, Black Sabbath was recorded originally for Fontana Records, but prior to the release, the record company elected to switch the band to another of their labels, Vertigo. So the original release was on Vertigo Records, and well, that was for Europe. In America, the distribution was made by Warner Brothers, so that's why we know that we are here in the presence of an American copy, because it says WB right here instead of Vertigo, and also because this one is. Now, a lot of people think that Black Sabbath were the first to have like very diabolic songs, but actually there was a band called Coven before them that were pretty heavy. They have a front woman, and she's the singer. Her name's Jinx Dawson, and she's super hot, or she was. And there was another band called Black Widow that were like devil worshippers, and those kids were very radical. Actually, it's kind of famous or infamous that at one of the shows, one member of the audience was a witch, and the witch was saying, "Stop! You don't know what you're doing. You're really going to bring the devil to the stage or something." And it was very theatrical and stuff. Anyways, these two bands sound very hippie-like and very kind of like Jethro Tull and stuff, and they're not super crazy incredible. But if you want to check them out, their songs and albums are available in Apple Music. That's how I know I checked them out. It's kind of interesting. Now, let's go right now to some other stuff that has to do with the two versions of the albums. I'm sorry about the background noise. I fucking hate it too. But, buses and stuff. This is Mexico City. I don't know. So I apologize about it. But anyway. All right. So, basically, the European version and the American version are pretty much the same. Except that here... on side 2, look at this. The first track for side 2 is Wicked World, yes? Alright, so in the original European version, the first track for side 2 is Evil Woman. So, depending on what version you had, you got either Evil Woman or Wicked World. Those were the two options. So you either had one or the other. Personally, I prefer the American version so much more, because I don't like the cover of Evil Woman, to be honest. It's not that it's a bad song. It's just it kind of breaks the mood. It's not as creepy as the other songs. It's kind of goofy. I don't like the rhythm. And I think that Wicked World is amazing. Here I have a copy. It's a miniature replica of the single. And here we have both tracks. We have Evil Woman and we have Wicked World. So this is pretty cool. I wish I had the original 45. This is just a replica. But here we have Evil Woman and Wicked World. So what did we learn today? That that if you had the American version, you got Wicked World, and that if you had the British version, you had Evil Woman, right? And now, another thing I didn't know is that Wicked World is not a Black Sabbath song. It's actually a song by a band called Crow. And I did know about Crow, I just didn't know that Evil Woman was one of their songs. And if you take a look at this 45, here we have Slow Down and Cottage Cheese. So if you are curious about this band, I highly recommend that you check these two songs in YouTube. They're fucking incredible. This band actually sounds like biker gang rock and roll, Hells Angels kind of fucking thing, and it's really, really good. I have another 45 single by them, and in this one, the cool track is Don't Try to Lay No Boogie Woogie on the King of Rock and Roll. If you can YouTube this song, it's also fucking cool. I highly recommend it. Alright, so there's another thing that I want to tell you about. But for this thing that I want to tell you about, I will need my phone, because I don't remember the name of the band. Basically, what I want to tell you is that this song right here, Warning, Warning is also a cover. It's not a Black Sabbath song. And I have my phone right here with me. Here it is. So, Warning is actually a song by Ainsley Dunbar, Retaliation. No way I couldn't remember the fucking name, right? Here I have it. Warning is an original song by, Warning is an original song by Ainsley Dunbar, Retaliation from 1967. I didn't fucking know that, but let me tell you, after listening to the original, I have to say that the Black Sabbath's version is way better. Not only the solo of Ayomi, everything sounds fucking compact, brutal, so well rehearsed. This album was recorded in only 12 hours, for God's sakes. It was practically recorded live. And, well, I'm running out of time. I really wish I could, maybe I could just fucking talk for hours about this album. It's, I love it so much. And, well, I want to take the opportunity to invite you to check our Nativity in White Twitter page. We don't have a lot of followers, but it's not about followers. This is just about having fun. Boss Butcher is making a video today about one of his favorite records, the Kiss album, Creatures of the Night, and I can't wait to hear what he thinks about that album. If you want to share one of your albums with us, one of your favorite albums, please contact us. Tell us about it. Share with us, and keep on rocking. Thank you very much. This was Christian, also known as Chris Success. Have a great evening. Good night.